let's face it, it has been a disastrous year for superhero movies, for both DC and Marvel, it has to be said. Marvel had only one relative success with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was a box office disappointment, and The Marvels was a box office flop of significant proportions. Meantime, DC had Shazam: Fury of the Gods, which had a budget of between $110 to $125 million or so, and made only $133 million worldwide. This is as according to Box Office Mojo. That was another major financial failure off the back of 2022's underperforming Black Adam. And later in 2023, DC would go on to endure the financial failures that were The Flash and Blue Beetle. And in just a couple of days' time, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, the sequel to 2018's Aquaman, will be released, and current box office forecasts are not looking especially positive for this film. Now, this article is from boxofficepro.com. Long-range box office forecast, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, opening weekend range between $32 million to $42 million. If that turns out to be the case, that is actually lower than the Marvels. Domestic total range, $105 million to $168 million. Now, that's only the domestic estimate for the United States. We don't have a worldwide estimate. But keep in mind, the film has a budget of about $205 million, not including its marketing costs, of course. So that means that Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom would really need to pull in probably over $400 million or so in order to basically recoup costs at a minimum. Theoretically, the film has little to no real competition at the cinema right now, but there's been an observable decline in the box office performance of superhero movies in general, and since the previous Aquaman, which was 5 years ago, there's been a lot of water under the bridge in that time. As the article points out, the general audience appetite for comic book movies has evolved and narrowed substantially in the 5 years since the first Aquaman came out. DC films have seen a particularly sharp decline with underperformance by Shazam: Fury of the Gods and Blue Beetle this year. This is critical. So, the appetite for these kinds of movies isn't as strong as it once was. I think that's fair to say. I actually think that so much audience investment in superhero movies was built up around the milestone event of Avengers Endgame in 2019. And this was so much so that when all of that energy was released after that film concluded, I think it also affected DC films as well. Because the decline hasn't just affected Marvel. So then when you add in the unpopular nature of identity politics in some recent Hollywood productions, including superhero movies, there is a percentage of the cinema-going audience who've just checked out. Okay, they've walked away and they're no longer interested in paying good money to see another stock standard formulaic superhero movie that they've seen many times before in under different guises, regardless as to whether it's pushing the message or not. The golden age of superhero films is behind us, as I've said before, and Hollywood studios just can't continue to churn them out with the regularity that they once did and have been doing for the last number of years, especially if they're going to continue to offer nothing particularly original or different in terms of the overall content and, of course, the quality of the product. So that was a quick one for you today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and stay tuned for my review in the coming days of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Looking forward to your comments below. Subscribe if you're new, hit that like button, you know the usual. Take care, see you next time. Bye-bye. The Dave Cullen Show is made possible by you, my generous subscribers. If you'd like to support my work, head on over to my Subscribe star, linked below in the description box, and for a pledge of as little as $1 per month, you can help to keep the show going. I'm also doing one-to-one monthly subscriber chats. Thanks again. Take care.